Hello, hello everybody, and welcome back to Oakbridge. It is May, the rain has finally stopped, so I thought I would pick up on the options of the mowing, the other farmers in the area, or having a similar idea to what I had on the last episode really, and it's a good time to get a cut in. So I'm out with the Valtra to do these because they're a little bit smaller fields, and then there's a big field to do which we'll get a worker on there. Told them, I've just got off the phone, told them to make their way there. The phone box in the village, of course, because it's a vintage playthrough. I'm going to probably be sensible to periodically save this because we've had an update and I've already had a couple of game crashes. But at the time of recording, Kinleg is imminent. The download has already happened for it. It's there, ready to go live on live day. But I'm going to be about a week behind. I'm going to do Kinleg, however, I'm going to give it a week or so just to see if there's any bits need ironing out and updates. But that'll be a modern day take. We won't be going vintage on that, I think. I'm going to watch a couple of map tours before then. Possibly jump in and have a look around before, or just go straight in. I don't know. If you've got an opinion, drop it in the comments. Anyway, ramble over. We're very close to having this finished. I wonder if on an update they've decided to make it you do 100%. Oh no, I didn't. I was just doing a tiny field that didn't. There we go. Loads of it missing. Are we out? Yes, we're out. Okay. And that is not the way I need to go. So for our jobs for the day, we're going to test out our four Schritt forage wagon to see if it will cut the grass and put it straight in the trailer. This is the wrong way. That's not the field, is it? And have I not opened it up? That's okay. Oh dear, that's a boo-boo. Can I get down to it from here? It's alright, we'll go for a little drive. That's not a problem. Tractor's been repaired, it's been serviced and fueled up. Should be enough for the worker. That might be the field actually, coming up on our right at the end of this track. I think that's the field. Best way to find out is hitting that. And my mirrors tell me something is moving. It's that lady again. The #1 worker. Well, we know she's going to do a great job, so I shall wander back, save it because there's a worker on it and that can sometimes cause issues, and I'll see you back down at our farm where we shall cut that huge strip to see just how big it is and how much we can get off it. Okie dokie. Looking forward to this. Am I? Am I genuinely looking forward to it? Am I apprehensive? Bit of both. Getting from that side, is it? It's not on a trailer. Here is the situation. It has an option for silage additive. I have not checked how long silage additive has been a thing. The header. That's better. Okay. So the angle of that's interesting. It's actually quite wide on the... Oh no. Okay. Okay. So, in that case, it's a very poor start, isn't it? We need to go and get... The problem with this is if we need to drive along and use a worker will only work in a field. That isn't a field, it's just a meadow. I'm already a little bit apprehensive as I sort of feel like forage harvesters only do planted grass in a field anyway, so this could end up being a very short episode or never becoming an episode. Gonna see if we can get a trailer. What? Oh, of course. I didn't realise that I'm actually over the right hand side of the vehicle. Little horn on it, good. It's got a big 15 mile an hour running speed. Oh, that's me catching my that's me catching my I was too busy staring at the black Labrador. That looks like a hitch that should fit, but then so should the other one, shouldn't it? I was so busy looking at the Labrador, I just caught my elbow on the control pad from the steering wheel. You pig. Why? Okay. Oh no. Why is that not going to fit? So, that's not been fixed in that patch update. It's still, farmstick still is all over the place. So maybe is it possible it will leave a swath, but then we're going to have a problem picking up a swath, aren't we? I sold the pickup oh dear, was it a huge mistake? At the minute, yes. I might have to try and think outside the box and quickly I don't even know if that's the right header, to be fair. Let's just bring it into place here. Have a look. Unfold your pipe. I wonder is that because of the field, or is it because of the header? Have I purchased the wrong header? It looks like a cutter and it's a lot bigger than a pickup header. But if this can't connect to a trailer, then it's aiming at the trailer. So it recognises the trailer, but it won't connect. For testing purposes, let's take it to a planted grass field and have a look. I shall be with you in a tick. Right, I'm going to ditch it here and give it a go, because I feel that I have saved this before getting to this point, so it will cut a field, but not unload here. I mean, that's not a lot of I don't know what's going on. What's happening? Right, I'm going to come back. I've got an idea. Hold on, lads. I have... It's not an idea. It's What is that? Vario chassis V2. What is that for? I'm going to go and have a look at that and then come back to you with an idea. Okay, so I come across the idea that it's probably better if I was to put a worker in the fortune up on the contract, and they've accepted it and started work. However, they don't seem to want to move forward, which is making me now wonder, should I be putting a trailer alongside it? But then we shouldn't be able to do that, should we? I mean, if we can, then I don't know really. I mean, we could do the contract and keep payment and the grass. She's there ready to go, but oh, hold on. You won't be able to cut that though, will you? she's not cutting. So that's not going to work either. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Because it's not, obviously it's not mowing, it's foraging, isn't it? It's forage harvesting, not. But she thinks she's working, so presumably there is the script in the game for doing forage harvesting. I suppose if you're using an AI, it's not on a contract, because we don't for some reason have forage harvesting contracts. So that is a test that we can tick off as a fail, and head back. Yeah, gonna have to go back and find alternative options. What am I going to do with that field? Because we can't scoop the grass up now because we don't have the pickup. Would that work with a pickup header on it? But we'd still need to windrow everything anyway, and we can't connect it to a trailer. And not being able to connect it to a trailer is pretty key. This is going to be a long job. And I need to get that grass contract done now. I might need to rent something. I'm going to have to head back, ring up the dealership, tell them my problem, maybe ring another farmer. Okie dokie. So, I have decided, all on my own, having spent quite a while just now messing around, mucking about with what's that doing? There we go. Mucking about with many different mowers, combinations. What else did I try? Different forage cutters and things. There is a mower we could probably use that would cut to put in a swath, but it's going to be pretty difficult. I have still got 30 odd, I've got till the end of May to finish that big cutting contract, so I'm sort of just thinking that I'll cut all of this. Obviously I can't get a worker to windrow it, I'll have to do it myself. And then, but while I'm doing that, I can send this up to do the mowing on the other field. At least we get a decent idea of what size this is. My other thing is, I've got a feeling I can get an attachment for our muck spreader that will strip a bale. So we could bale and then transport it. Oh, where am I going? Where? There we are. I could move the bales over and just sort of put them in that and strip them into the pit. We can't wrap them, that's the problem. There's no vintage wrappers. But then that's a mixture of problems, that, isn't it? That's A, the challenge of the vintage farming, and B, I would argue it's a sort of issue with the fact that we can't. Caught me. Control pad again. It's the problem we're not having foraging contracts or being able to use a forage harvester on a meadow. Them's the breaks, unfortunately. Which just means this episode becomes spread, because what time are we at? We're getting towards about half an hour. Maybe we'll just do a shorter episode here. At least get an idea of how big this field is. Well, to be fair, it's a good size, there's no doubt about that. We're going to get a decent amount of grass off it. I am wondering, am I going to be able to windrow it quicker than an AI worker will cut the other field? I don't think I've got time to do that in this episode, have I? Have I? I've only really got one other option for a windrower, I think. Although I have to say, this might not be taking that long to do. Actually, I was hoping I could have got that. I was really hoping that foreshroot was going to just make everything a lot easier for doing, but if it can't pull a trailer, it's not really much use for us, is it? Go on, mate, up you get. That's it. This isn't too bad, actually. It just depends on time now, doesn't it? I mean, it's 4:45 already. Am I going to have the time to get this done? I'm thinking, should I just move ahead to showing this being windrowed, but we might run out of daylight. That's an interesting one. What windrow? Is there a windrow we could lease that's bigger? Is there a bigger windrower? I mean, we can check, can't we? Let's just put this. Let's have a quick look. Windrowers. Do. That's about the nearest we've got to a vintage one, and that's a 3.6. Which I don't think is doesn't say the size, does it? That's annoying. £9,000. Money is a bit tight. Is 3.6 wider? That's way too new. I suppose we could. Maybe I'm gonna have to do it myself, that's the thing. £9,000, it's a few £100 to lease, wouldn't it? And the question is, I mean, it's easier to use one of them than it is to use the windrow we've got, but I'm not sure it's actually any bigger. If not, maybe a little smaller. It just means I have to be a bit tidier with what I'm doing. Or do we just leave it for the morning? So I decided that in order to feel like I've achieved something in the episode, I would give this a go. I think I have used it before. I think we used it on another hill and it was incredibly difficult to work with due to simply the terrain. But we are getting I'd say we're getting neater road than I'd get if I was doing it normally. But then this is 9,000 to buy. Is it much bigger? I'm not sure. Not altogether sure. The sun's just starting to drop now. The worker headed off to go and get a start on that mowing, which is good to see. But as it's getting a bit darker, I thought I'd leave the episode here for now. I'm quite interested to possibly test out a bale of grass in a shredder, if I can dump it in our pit. Although, is it going to be any quicker? Than just putting it in a trailer and moving it around. I think I can't remember what our hay thing holds. I guess there's only one way to find out. So potentially another experiment to have on the next episode, isn't there? Can we just shred bales of, I mean, it's quicker to put them in bales, but then it's going to take a while, that's evident, and we've got some rain on the way. Luckily it's just going to be made into silage, so I'm not going to worry too much about this grass getting wet. I won't lose any sleep over it, that is for sure. I feel like I should test the bale though, shouldn't I? The bale theory should be tested. That's an itch that will need a scratch. But yeah, I think for now, that is where we'll leave the episode. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, feel free to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, then feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you've got any comments, suggestions, any ideas of vintage mods you've seen that have come out, any ideas for the style of play we should have for Kinleague, then feel free to put it in the comments section. Wherever you find them on your device. Until the next time, thank you so much for watching, and bye bye for now.